Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is time for the 2018 Link to the Past No Major Glitches Tournament Groups Reveal Show. I am Scrivo, as always. Anytime something Link to the Past tournament related comes up, I seem to be around. I am joined by the actual brains behind this operation, the man without whom everything would be falling apart, the greenest of hams, Green Ham. Hello, sir.
Yo, thanks for that introduction, dude. Hello, everyone. How we doing?
So, just so everybody understands exactly how vital this man is, anybody who's ever organized a tournament on Challenge understands that it is quite possibly the worst interface for working with large groups of people. So Greenham has actually helped us out by building a utility that is taking everybody's PB from speedrun.com, sorting it, grouping it, and automatically updating challenge so we can do this group reveal show and keep everything. Greenham is low. Fine, Scrivo is too quiet. Scrivo is too quiet. Okay. Fixing that. But basically making it so that we can do this groups reveal show without having to put everything on challenge. We can do this, we can reveal it, and then from there we can get the groups updated. So just want to make sure everybody can hear me now. My audio looks fine over here.
Yeah, you sound a lot better now. I think it should be
okay.
Good to go at this point.
Let me make sure I am coming through on the... Okay, we're good now. I'm good now. Okay. All right. So basically what I was saying is that Greenham wrote a big old utility to take speedrun.com and to take... challenge and combine all your PBs and group and seed and randomize them throughout the buckets and get all that updated. So big thanks to him for making the administration of this a lot easier. So with that said, let's go ahead and move into covering, just for anybody who's not a part of the tournament that is not up on this yet, what the format of the tournament is. So basically, it's a Link to the Past, No Major Glitches tournament. We have 128 entrants. We took the first 128 entrants that have a valid PB, and by valid PB, I mean you have beaten the game one time at least, according to the No Major Glitches rule set, which is... beat the game without saving and quitting and without making any major sequence breaking glitches. If you were able to do that one time before the deadline and you were the first 128 to sign up, you were in. So we have people ranging from number 2 on the leaderboard, WQ, all the way to people who literally played the game for the first time in this tournament. For this tournament. So it is a pretty wide spectrum of skill levels. From there, we have seeded those 128 people by PB, just ranked them from 1 to 128, and then we divided those 128 into 4 tiers. 1 through 30, PBs 1 through 32, PBs 33 through 64, 65 through 96, and 97 through 128. And then we're going to make 42 groups that include one person from each tier. In those groups, everybody will play each other once, and the top 2 from each group advance to a single elimination bracket. As I said, the races will be held under the no major glitches, no save and quit rule set, with one exception. Anybody that has played no major glitches understands that there is a brief trick that we do early in the run called fake flippers, where if you do it incorrectly, you can soft lock your game. And it is almost impossible, unless you have a major disparity in PBs, it is almost impossible to recover from that point. So what we have done is we've put in an exemption for that. In the group stages, if you if you fail the fake flippers trick, before the soft lock happens, meaning before you move and break the game, you can save and quit to Link's house, and you can continue from there. In the bracket stages, though, that's going to be a higher level of competition, so we want that mistake to be a little bit more punitive. In the brackets, you may save and quit to Link's house, but you must return to the fake flippers screen. There is a bush there that everybody uses as a cue for the trick. You must touch that bush, and then you can either do fake flippers again or proceed without it and go the long way. The last thing we want is a soft lock to end a race 20 minutes in. It'd be it's not good for the viewers, it's not good for the racers, so we're gonna make that exception. Other than that, the no major glitches, no save and quit rules completely apply. So the last time that we had a tournament was back in 2016. Now, back in 2016, there was no such thing as Link to the Past randomizer. Has anybody ever heard of this Link to the Past randomizer thing? I guess it's popular on the internet a little bit.
I think I've seen it here and there a few times.
Once or twice?
Yeah.
Okay. So back then, we tried to get a 64-person tournament, and we couldn't. So the 2016 tournament had 63 people in it. And it was a double elimination tournament, and a Link to the Past player some people have heard of named Zelda. I guess he's kind of good at the game. He won it going away, didn't lose a single match, blew right through the winner's bracket, and just dominated the tournament. And it was a very impressive showing. This time around, he is taking a break from the game, so he's not going to be participating in this tournament, but we still have most of the top 20 and a lot of other really good runners in this tournament. But there are some, if you want to get excited for this upcoming tournament, and the matches will be starting on the 25th, I would suggest that you go back in the Speed Gaming YouTube highlights, and you will find, I'm going to give you the following matches that you should look up. Poor Little Pinkus versus Blunt Bunny. You should be able to find that VOD. Poor Little Pinkus versus WQQQQWRT, or WQ for short, was a ridiculous down to the last second match. Ivan versus Kaznode was one of the most exciting matches of the tournament. And those three matches, I would say should be, if you have any interest in Link to the Past racing, you want to go back and find those three matches because they were spectacular. And that hopefully is the type of competition that you should have to look forward to in this tournament. Like I said, we've got 128 racers. We've got some people that that know the game inside and out and dominate. You've got some people that have learned the game for this. You got a lot of randomizer players that are making their way over here for the first time. So, with that said, what we're going to do now is, Greenham already knows the groups. Like I said, he's the genius. He wrote the tool. But what we are going to do is I am going to, we have gone full Academy Awards. He has put the groups in an envelope. And by envelope, I mean a web server that I have access to. And I'm just going to go ahead and reveal them 2 groups at a time. I've never seen these groups. I don't even know what group I'm in. So, and one other thing that we've done, because we like to have fun, is we have assigned team names. there are a lot of friends that you will meet along the way in Hyrule as you play the game, and we have decided to give each group a mascot, as you will, from amongst many of the denizens of Hyrule. So, with that said, we are going to reveal these groups, 2 groups at a time. And, I would be remiss if I did not mention what is coming up next. So if you had any intentions of watching the group reveal and then maybe not staying tuned to speed gaming, I would suggest that you change your mind, because Blunt Bunny, one of the top Link to the Past runners, has been working diligently for the past few months on a No Major Glitches theory task. And what a theory task is he has grinded every single room in the game to dust using the practice hack developed by poor little Pinkus, replaying every room in the game over and over to get the most optimal, reasonably most optimal RTA viable room. And he has taken all of those rooms and combined them together into what is going to be, in my estimation, the most valuable Link to the Past practice resource since the practice hack. This will basically be the video that if you want to know the best way to do something, you go and see what Blunt Bunny did in his theory task. We're going to be hosting that here. Blunt Bunny's going to be streaming it. We're going to be hosting it here. So you can either stay here or you can and watch it through the host. You can go over to Blunt Bunny's chat. But Blunt Bunny and Josh RTA, another very talented runner also in the tournament, are going to be giving commentary. So for everybody that has been playing this game for years, you'll want to see it. If you're learning the game, you definitely want to see it. So I would stay tuned for that.
I am so incredibly stoked for that.
I have literally put off practicing for the tournament until I get a chance to watch this. So, with that said, what we're going to do, we have pulled up the server. I have not seen any of this before. And we are going to look at the first 2 groups. So, if you would imagine a drum roll in your head, because this is a low-budget operation and I can't afford drumroll.wav.
Enjoy this extremely high-tech, efficient text formatting.
This is literally how, when you put 2 nerds together and you say, hey, how can we reveal something? I can cat it on my Linux box? Yeah, sure, that sounds great. So, with that said, the first 2 groups. So, here we are. We have in group Patrick Star. Actually, we get to an interesting thing right away. So, we closed the at about 4:30 today. Greenham closed up the seating and generated these groups. And at that time, there was a tie for 1 through 32, for a tie for 32nd place. So 32nd and 33rd place had the same time. And so what we did, we were trying to arrange a last-minute race between these 2. It just didn't work out due to the last-minute nature because of how PBs were shuffling. So I flipped a coin. Took a video of the coin flip, and Bamboo Shadow won that coin toss. So Bamboo Shadow got seed 32. And the 33rd place, 33rd seed that was at the time tied with Bamboo Shadow, and actually, while we were streaming, just finished up cutting Bamboo Shadow, but not in time to affect the seeding, was Fricker 22. So he'll be the 33rd seed. You'll see him later on. So Group Patrick Star, everybody's favorite Hellway resident, is Bamboo Shadow, the 32nd seed, with a 128.45. Out of the 33 through 64, we have Rezoviax, 52nd seed, with a 132.09. And out of the third bucket is Super Nintailor, The 68th seed with a 134.16. And out of the 4th bucket is Super Player 2, seed 112 with a 150.11. So Bamboo Shadow is the one thing I know about him. I've been, as I've been verifying runs on speedrun.com over the past few months, Bamboo Shadow is one of those players that I've watched. I think when I started verifying runs, he had something in the neighborhood of a mid-130s. And then as soon as the signups for the tournament came along, I'm pretty sure I saw him go 131, 130, 129, 128 pretty quick. So he is a player that we've seen improving a lot. And then, you know, so he's going to be somebody to look out for. If you're looking for people that are going to possibly get some fresh PBs in the tournament, he is one of them. We're going to move on now to the second group. Everybody's favorite butterfly in Group Mothula. In out of the first bucket, we have winner of best stream layout on Twitch ever, the number 11 seed, Kaznode, with a 126.27. One of the old boys of the game, been around for a long time, but always improving, always still getting better. So he is our first out of the first bucket. Out of the second bucket, we have the Lost Llama, 34th seed with a 128.48. Another player that's been rapidly improving recently as the tourney has approached. Out of the third seed is TB Ham, not a green ham, but another ham, possibly related to the green ham.
You could say we're somewhat similar in nature, yes.
Yes, they are both composed mostly of ham. It's just you are green and he has tuberculosis, it would seem. Is that what it stands for?
Yeah, he's been going a long time strong with that disease, but he's hanging in there.
Hey, yeah, he's doing well. And then, so he's the 84th seed with a 137.03. And out of the fourth bucket, we have, and I'm just going by what he put in his tourney bio, which was pronounce it however you want. So seed 145, Awi G Lib has a 145.34. He said pronounce it however we want. I'm going to go with Awi G Lib for the, it's Oglib. Everybody, anybody that, a lot of people know who Oglib is. He has started grinding for this tournament. So those are the first two groups. So we are going to move on to the next two groups. Oh boy, we've got Group Argus with heading off with Zatox, the number 25 seed, with a 128.24. Zatox has also been steadily improving over the past few months, and he is also on my PB during the tournament list. So out of the second group of randomizer fame and also Nickelback music video fame is the rumor that I heard. Just a rumor. Willard J. Bradley,
So,
the 64th
Something
seed.
interesting about that seeding, actually, that occurred just last night. Willard got this PB, and I just so happened to be around to see the majority of it. So he got that fresh PB last night, got it submitted pretty much immediately thereafter. So I was able to get everything updated in time to get him into the second bucket here. So congrats.
Yeah. Hey, we were telling everybody that it's never too late for a PB. Get them in. Well, unfortunately, apparently, sometimes it was too late for a PB, but get them in up to the last day, and we'll try to get them verified. And Willard was able to sneak into that 33 through 64. In the 65 through 96 bucket, we have seed 70 Pika Pals with a 134.53, and in the 97 through 128 bucket, my understanding is a legend in Zelda 2, Simple Dude, the 108 seed with a 146.57.
Yeah, this is a really interesting mix of runners, kind of from a variety of games, and also doing some rando players as well. So this will be a kind of an interesting group to watch. I'm a little sad that Runner Watcher didn't make it into Group Argus, but
Runner Watcher,
maybe next time.
Really, Argus is of course Runner Watcher's spirit animal, but maybe next tournament, as you said. So the next group, the fourth group, is Group Buzzblob, and we're gonna start off with. He's seed number 7, but everybody knows
number 1 in our hearts.
ACMLM is number 1. ACM, of course, has been around, has been playing Link to the Past since before Link to the Past came out, actually. That's a little-known fact. He actually developed the game with Miyamoto, and yeah, so he's just been around forever. With a 125-44. In the 33 through 64 bucket, another player that made their way over to No Major Glitches from Randomizer and has also been steadily improving, and also the champion of the Super NT, Imosaru, 62 seed with a 133.35.
She actually just got that PB last night as well and snuck into the second bucket there, so nice job.
Yep. Out of the 65 through 96, we have Ninban, the 71 seed, with a 135 flat. And with coming out of the 97 through 128 bucket is John Rossum's, the 98 seed, with a 141.33. So, yes, ACMLM is everyone's uncle that worked at Nintendo. That's correct, Felix. So, those are groups 3 and 4. So, moving on to groups 5 and 6. We have Group Blind, and here we are, possibly the favorite to win it all, WQ, with a 123.32. What is there to say about WQ that hasn't been said? He is probably, out of the players actively streaming Link to the Past right now, he's probably the best. I would find it difficult to argue against that. He is... He's developed a number of strats that a number of players pick up. Right off the top of my head, I know that WQ pretty much defined the current strat for Vitreous, the best strat for the Ice Palace bomb jump. But he is a true student of the game, so he is certainly somebody to watch when you're making your predictions. We have in the 33 through 64 bracket your virtual console champion and pair aficionado, Elminster, number 45, with a hot virtual console time of 1:30.59. Elminster is I believe he owns a Super Nintendo. He just apparently is not on speaking terms with it. 65 through 96, we've got Rezi, the 95th seed. Rezi, of course, is known for playing Super Mario World, but eschewing power-ups. He tends to stay small. He is a 95th seed with a 139.37. And then out of the 97 through 128 bracket, we've got Arifram, Earthbound, primarily an Earthbound speedrunner, I understand, who has been grinding this game down for the tournament. He is the 99th seed with a 141.50, and that is rounding out Group Blind, the 5th group. So coming up, we've got Group Lonely Firebar. Everybody loves the Lonely Firebar.
No, nobody loves the Lonely Fire. That's why he's lonely.
Well, he's antisocial. He's an introvert, but
nobody
deep down at heart,
nobody understands
he's warm,
him, right?
Yeah, he's really got a warm personality.
Come on, Scribo. It's way too early to be starting this.
So, coming out of Group 1 through 32, we have Mike the Viewer with the 8th seed. That might be the top emulator time in the tournament. I'd have to go back and look at it, with a 125.45. Out of the 33 through 64 bracket, we've got Maltzy, the 58th seed, with a 133.04. Out of 65 through 96, we've got Kroya, 67th seed, with a 134.12. And out of the 97 through 128, we've got SM Bai with the 101 seed, a 143.25. So that rounds out groups 5 and 6. Counting is hard. Let's go. All right. We've got Group Kadongo. Now, we're going to start off with, if there's somebody in this tournament, if you had to pick a few names that could possibly challenge WQ, here's one of the names to keep an eye on. Dark Mind Demon, the number 2 seed in the tournament with a 124.08. Not that old of a PB. I believe it was just like 2.5 weeks ago. I'd have to go back and look, but it wasn't long ago. He is obviously one of the top players of the game. And he is definitely somebody to keep an eye on. Out of the 33 through 64 bucket, it's David. The 56 seed with a 132.56. Out of the 65 through 96 bucket, we've got Negazeus, 66 seed with a 134.09. And out of the 97 through 128 bucket, we've got Crusader, with the 122nd seed with a 213.39. So that is Group 7. Group 8 with out of Group Deadrock is starting off with one of the old boys of Link to the Past, DCluty24, the 18th seed with a 127.29. DK has been around for a long time. Took a break from the game, but is coming back to play in this tournament, so it'd be good to see him playing again. Out of Group 33 through 64, the one and only, my favorite commentary partner, Metatron, the Imitato herself, 38th seed with a 129.31. Also put her on the list for people to look to PB in a tourney race. She has been knocking on the door of 128 every time she picks up a controller, so keep an eye out. Out of the 65 through 96 group, we've got Chex Human with the 86 seed, a 137.14. And out of the 97 through 128 group, we've got Vascos, 119 with a 203.17. So that is groups 7 and 8. All right. In Group Agena, not Agena, Agena, we have the number 3 seed kicking it off, Josh X-Released RTA. He is one of the keepers of the lore and knower of all things Linked to the Past. If you want to know the fastest room time possible for a room, one of the people you might go ask is Josh RTA. He is he's pretty good at the game, and he recently just kicked down that 124 wall with a 124.44. I believe that was about a week ago. So he's one of the people to keep an eye out for.
He's definitely a real cool head.
Yes, he is. I need a break. Out of Group 33 through 64, we've got MChan338, the man who loves RNG so much he's got the average RNG values in his screen name. Number 49, he recently got a PB to bring him to 131.45. MChan primarily plays 100%, but he has decided to lower himself to only playing a lesser percentage of the game for this tournament. Out of 65 through 96, we've got Beheld 1, the 88th seed, with a 137.38. And out of the 97 through 128 bracket, we've got Conster 786, the 100th seed, with a 142.09. So that rounds out Group Agena. In Group Usain Bolt, the fastest guard in Hyrule, who always wants to tag you on your way through the Thieves Town split, we have the one, the only, Blunt Bunny, the 4th seed and creator of the Theory Taz that we'll be checking out later. He is with a 124.52. He is also one of the people to keep an eye out as a potential winner of the tournament, or at the very least to advance pretty far in the brackets. It will be interesting to see. He's been taking a break from actually doing RTA attempts to work on the theory tasks. So it'll be really exciting to see what how that those months of grinding rooms translates to his gameplay. One moment, I need to take a drink. This is a lot of talking.
Yeah, you're doing a fantastic job, dude. Keep it up. Yeah, Josh and Blunt Bunny, I'd say, are two of the guys that I will definitely be keeping an eye on. I've probably learned more about the game from those two guys than anyone else. So.
Yep. Blunt Bunny, of course, was the author of the original save state pack for Poor Little Pincus's practice hack. Also the developer of a room sheet that a lot of people use, and also now this theory task. So he's always producing helpful resources. Out of the 33 through 64 bucket, we've got Ninnies with the 54th seed, a 132.28. Out of 65 through 96, we've got Drunken Draconian with the 78th seed, 135.37. And out of 97 through 128, Cross Product with a 102 seed, 143.25. So that is groups Agena and Usain Bolt. All right. In Group Armos, you may know him from his conquests on Coalant Island or from his recent triumphs atop Mount Celeste. He is the fastest improving Link to the Past player we have ever seen, getting to 125 in a blink of an eye. He is TGH. And watching him, I had never heard of him until he started posting times. And then the next time I saw him, he was cutting me. And then the next time I saw him, he was in the top 20. And that happened in like maybe 2 months. So he has improved really fast, and I only see him getting better. Out of group 33 through 64, we've got one half of the epic duo on the Frame Savers, John Carls, the 53rd seed, with a 132.27. My boy John, keep an eye on him because he is also on my list of people that I expect a fresh PB out of during a tourney race. In the 65 through 96 bracket, we have Maniacal, the 87th seed, with a 137.18. And rounding it out of the 97 through 128, we've got Zelnus, not Zelna, two of them now, Zelnus, with a 117 seed, 2 hours and 44 seconds.
Two Zelnus, he should go twice as fast, right?
That's the idea. Coming up on Group Vitreous, if I had to say, I'd say this is the group to keep an eye on. Hey?
No.
Hey?
No, just no.
Making his triumphant return to Link to the Past. His tourney fact that he would like everybody to know is that he once raced Andy at a GDQ, and he put Andy in the dumpster. He is Solidus. He did actually, if I recall correctly, pick up a trash can and put it over Andy's head. So, true facts only. Solidus making his return to Link to the Past with a 127.25. He is one of the people that I've never actually gotten to see Solidus stream Link to the Past other than going back and watching the old GDQ VODs. So, I am excited to see him. Out of the 33 through 64, he comes into this tournament wielding his mighty axe to get just to take out anybody in his way. He is Kolthor, the Barbarian, the 43rd seed, and he has a 130.19. Kolthor has been on the practice grind, though, so he is going to have a sub 130 pretty much the next time he fires up a run, so keep an eye on him in the tournament. Out of the 65 through 96 bucket, my good friend Green Linen Shirt, the 74th seed, with a 135.10. And out of the 97 through 128 seed, Felix the Cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat, the 106 seed with a 145.59. So that rounds up Group Vitreous. We'll put a lid on that.
Sighing intensifies.
Moving on, we've got Group Octorok. And out of Group Octorok, we have in the 1 through 32 bucket, we have Gerdo, or G3. I really should have read that pronunciation guide that I asked people to fill out, shouldn't I? The number 12 seed, this is somebody that has also been rapidly improving, who has gotten to 126 pretty quickly. So 126.29 is his PB. Out of the 33 through 64 bucket, we've got Error with the 46th seed, a 131.20. Out of the 65 through 96 bucket, we've got Shady Force, the 85th seed, with a 137.04 PB. And out of the 97 through 128 bucket, we've got Magius with a 104 seed, 144.50. Coming up out of Group Gibdo, that is out of the 1 through 32 bucket, we've got Wolfie 83, the 28th seed, with a 128.35. Out of the 33 through 64 bucket, we've got JSR, the 48th seed, with a 131.42, who also did his recent PB move him up? I think he may have been another one that recently made his way up a bracket.
I think he actually I think he more so solidified his position in that bucket with
Gotcha.
that PB.
I'm going to ask for your help here because is it
just go with Giselle.
Giselle, thank you. I can talk really well, but any word that I'm not good at pronouncing things. I'm really just not. So out of 65 through 96, Giselle, who has the 91st seed with a 137.57. Giselle has also been making some pretty good headway in the recent randomizer tournaments, and has been improving in no major glitches from that. So look to see probably also on my list of PBs to watch for in the tournament. And out of 97 through 128 bucket, we've got Cosmo, the 110 seed, with a 148.59. Moving on. Out of Group Terrorpin, in
one of the greatest enemy names, honestly.
It is one of the greatest enemy names because it's a pun, and everybody knows that puns are the highest form of humor known to man. Elminster understands. Out of the 1 through 32 bucket, we've got Salatman 92, the 22nd seed, with a 128 flat. Out of 33 through 64, the losing side of that coin flip, Fricker 22, the 33rd seed, with a 128.45. He actually just improved that PB literally right as we went on the air to a 128.38. But like I said, it just barely missed the cutoff. But keep an eye on him to keep improving throughout the tournament. Out of the 65 through 96, we've got Lanxian with the 82nd seed, a 136.50. And out of the 97 through 128 bracket, Donkey Kong legend Eason with the 125th seed, a 215. But he has been on the practice grind, hasn't really been focusing on runs yet. He's been just grinding out the practicing, so I expect him to improve pretty steadily throughout the group stage.
Yeah, this group is going to be kind of interesting, in particular with Fricker getting that PB, which kind of puts him on the same level as people in the first bucket, and obviously he's still improving as well. So the 1 versus 2 match here will be particularly interesting to watch, but this entire group will be fun.
Yep. Coming up next is Group Cold Stare, and we are led off in this group by a legend. Everybody raise a cup of tea to Christus Owen, Britain's finest speedrunner, the 13th seed with a 126.38. Everybody who has everybody knows who Christus is. He is the man, and he is returning to no major glitches for the tournament. Out of the 33 through 64 bucket is Zarby 89, the 61st seed with a 133.33. Out of 65 through 96, and also winner of Smart Enough Not to Admin the Tourney this time around, Dark Magician 1184, the 72nd seed with a 135.04. DM ran the last tournament back in 2016. So he's taking a break from the tourney organizing game, I guess, this time. Couldn't rope him in.
Well dodged, sir.
He's smarter than I am. And out of the 97 through 128 bucket, we've got S. Diesel, the 97th seed, with a 140.09. Moving on, we've got Group HiKnocks, 1 through 32. We've got, hey, everybody, it's a big day. It's Walrus Prime moving over from the Mega Man X scene to get pretty darn good at Link to the Past. The 29th seed with a 128.37. He's been cranking out the PBs every time he starts his stream, so he's another person to keep an eye on for mid-tourney PBs. 33 through 64, we've got Feral Pigman, the 44th seed with a 130.57. Out of the 65 through 96 seed, we've got Tear, the 94th seed with a 139.11. And out of the 97 through 128 bucket, we've got Tina Hacks, another player that's pretty much learned the game for this tournament, with a 109, the 109 seed with a 147.30. Oh boy, it's only fitting that this is how it all ends up. In Group Lanmolus, out of the 1 through 32 bucket,
yeah,
some idiot named Scrivo.
Definitely don't take the group name as some sort of omen for your tourney performance.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be a 3 cycle every time, dude.
This is fine. This is fine. I am the 30th seed in the tournament somehow because everybody cuts me now just by playing the game twice with a 128.41. Out of the 33 through 64 bucket, we've got Speed Gaming Zone JC87, the 60th seed with a 133.08. Out of 65 through 96, we've got Philian. I really should have read that pronunciation guide. I'm an idiot. The 93rd seed with a 138.56. And out of 97 through 128, we've got Nikki Noel, whom I personally know through Final Fantasy 1 PSP. Every time I tune into the Final Fantasy 1 PSP tournaments, Nikki is either winning a match or has just won a match every time I see that name. So the 118th seed with a 2-hour 45-second time. Moving on. Out of Group SwagDuck. It's a shame Walrus did not end up in this group, but out of Group SwagDuck, we've got in the 1 through 32 bucket, we've got BTILCX, the 23rd seed with a 128.08. BT has also been a runner that we've been watching PB pretty often over the past few weeks, so another runner to keep an eye on. Out of 33 through 64, we've got Zyrak, the 63rd seed with a 133.40. Out of 65 through 96, we've got Swerb, the 76th seed with a 135.29. And out of 97 through 128, my boy, legendary Earthbound player, LL Temple, the 103rd seed with a 144 flat. That rounds out Group SwagDuck. Out of Group Hakubaku, which is, for those that don't know, that is the actual name for the Pokies in Turtle Rock.
And we have two very contrasting group names on the screen right now. Which group would you rather be in?
Would you rather be in Group Meme or Group Know the Lore? In Group Pokey, out of the 1 through 32 bucket, we've got Kyong92 with the 27th seed, a 128.33. Out of the 33 through 64 bucket, El Magus with the 57th seed, a 133.02. Out of the 65 through 96 bucket, we've got pronounced Andy, is my understanding, 75 seed with a 135.22. And out of the 97 through 128 bucket, Shirilla with the 127th seed with a 3:15:22. All right.
12 groups to go.
12 to go. Coming up is Group Snapdragon. Leading off Group Snapdragon is the man who will suplex a train just for looking at him the wrong way. He is the Sabin, the 24th seed with a 1:28:15. Of course, Sabin is, on top of having a pretty good time in Link to the Past, he's also known for being one of the keepers of knowledge in Final Fantasy VI. Moving on to number 33 through 64. Once again, my boy and legendary Earthbound Sub 4 member, D-Rock91384.
Met a map he didn't like.
Never met a map he didn't like. That man always knows where he is. He is the 41st seed with a 1:29:42. There's my boy Savin suplexing a train. I see you. Out of the 65 through 96 bucket, we've got Yelzrek, the 90th seed with a 1:37:52, and rounding it out in the 97 through 128 bucket. You just corrected my pronunciation on this one before the.
Oh, Jetta BB?
Jetta BB.
Or
okay.
just Jet.
Or just Jet. No, Elminster is correct. Scrivo is just an idiot. Yes, that is correct. Jet with the 114th seed with a 1:51:39. Then we're going to move down to Group Cukeman, and leading that off out of the 1 through 32 bucket is Ben Teasy. Ben is one of those players that moved over from Randomizer and then decided to get a pretty good time pretty fast. So he is the 19th seed in this tournament with a 1:27:32. Another name to keep an eye on for improving as the tournament goes on. Let me see in the chat your yas for the Donkey God Void out of the 33 through 64 bucket, the 40th seed with a 1:29:39. Void, who boldly proclaimed from the interview desk at GDQ that he was going to be practicing and trying to do well in this tournament. So let's see how that. Let's see if he can follow through on that. Out of the 65 through 96, we've got another ALTTP old boy, Barn Owl, the 81st seed with a 1:36:34. And rounding it up is out of the 97 through 128, we've got Space Cat Universe, the 113th seed with a 1:51:33. Space Cat's another new player that's pretty much been learning the game for this tournament, has been practicing and rapidly improving. So I look to see. I wouldn't be surprised to see her in the 140s before the time the group stages are over. So, but seems to be PBing by significant chunks every time she picks up a controller. So, moving on, high atop Death Mountain, we have Group Lionel led off out of the 1 through 32 bucket.
Quite appropriately.
Quite appropriately. It is Super Nintendo Chalmers.
In the Lionel Hutz group.
In the Lionel Hutz group. He is learning, my friends. The 31st seed, also with a 1:28:41. I will let you know, though, that it's a slightly slower 1:28:41 than my 1:28:41. So, yeah, take that, Chalmers.
Who timed that? Did you time that?
Yes.
Interesting.
I eyeballed
thinking face.
Yes, yes. Out of the 33 through 64, we've got Bwain with the 51st seed with a 1:32:07. Out of the 65 through 96 bucket, we've got Zero Rush with seed 69, 1:34:46. And rounding it out, 97 through 128, we've got Lyra with a 124 seed, 2:14:23. I just noticed the next group name.
Yes.
He is that idiot running into a wall in Skullwood.
The only reason to celebrate in that room ever.
the only good thing to happen to you in that room. He is the Stuck Mummy. And starting off Group Stuck Mummy out of the 1 through 32 bucket, Super Mario World legend, quickly becoming Link to the Past legend, Louis. He has also steadily been climbing the leaderboard, so keep an eye on him. Out of 33 through 64 bucket, we've got Cransoon, the 47th seed with a 130-135. Out of the 65 through 96 bucket, we've got Jerby, the 96th seed with a 139.58. And the 97 through 128 bucket, Energy, with a 123 seed, 214.18 PB.
I want to say that was Zam's second run ever.
I believe that's correct. All right. Get out your blue balls. It is time for Group Agonum. And leading off Group Agonum.
Someone who apparently has died to this boss in the past, if I recall correctly.
As a matter of fact, in the last tournament...
I swear these are random. I swear they're random.
They're random. In the last tournament, this racer casually strolled into the Agonum fight with one heart and left with none. He is Mutsky, the 15th seed with a 127.25. Let not the mistakes of the past repeat themselves. Hopefully you can live through the Agonum fight this time around. Also, star of the IRL Clips video. Out of the 33 through 64 bucket, we've got Thunder Mustache, the 42nd seed with a 129.53. Out of the 65 through 96, we've got EOD Tex, the 83rd seed with a 137.02. And rounding it out with the 97 through 128 seed, we've got Takaze, the 120th seed with a 207.36. Moving on to Group Stelphos. Out of the 1 through 32 bucket, Link to the Past legend, Super Castlevania 4 legend, Aladdin legend, basically just dominates any video game he picks up. He is Joe D'Amelio, the 5th seed with a 125.05. You may have seen him going back and forth with 2Cat with the CV4 record recently. He's going to be picking up his controller again for Link to the Past for this tournament.
I'm really excited to see him start playing again.
Joe is another one of those players that if you want to learn, he did a really excellent series of Tazes comparing different strats about a year ago. That is a really good watch for people learning the game. And of course, the best Mimics strat, best Mimics 1 strat is of course the Joe strat. So I've been saying that I'm notoriously bad at pronouncing names. So out of the group 33 through 64 bucket, we have Duty Chedron, Duty Chehedron. It is everybody's favorite 12-sided polyhedron, the dodecahedron, the 36th seed with a 129.05. Is it dodecahedron or Duty Chehedron?
The latter sounds totally correct to me.
Just checking. Out of the 65 through 96 bucket, also Speed Gaming Zone, Kekkomen Shoyu, the 89 seed with a 137.50. And out of the 97 through 128 bucket, Natasca with a 115 seed, 157.25. We are coming down the home stretch. Out of group Ball and Chain Guard, the real final boss of the game, in the seed or in the 1 through 32 group, it is DBZ Fan Kid Boo, the 17th seed with a 127.26. Out of the 33 through 64 bucket, we've got Skarsnik, the 59th seed with a 133.06. In the 65 through 96 bucket, we've got Chowser with the 65th seed with a 133.53. And out of the 97 through 128 bucket, we've got Udea Monistic with a 116 seed, 157.29.
Wow, the number 2 and 3 there are extremely close in PB. That's really cool.
All right. Moving on to Group Tektite. He is a man who is close to the heart of everybody in the Link to the Past community. He is just always around to lend a kind word or sit on. Never mind.
You'll get up in your face if you really want to.
He is the man who watches all of the runners. He is Runner Watcher, the number 21 seed with a 127.58. He is quite possibly one of my favorite people to watch play any video game.
Or just to have in chat.
Or to have in chat, yes. And we're gonna be I'm happy to have him back on the commentary team this tournament. In the 33 through 64 bucket, we've got Ivan, who has been playing a lot of randomizer lately, but has just decided to see if playing No Major Glitches is a good idea. I don't think the tournament started yet, and he already regrets it, but we'll see.
He did recently get that sub 130, though. So
he did get that sub 130, so it's not all bad. Out of the 65 through 96 bracket, burninating all of the thatched roof cottages in his path, it is Trogdor, the 77th seed, with a 135.34. And rounding it out in the 97 through 128 bucket, it is Mashy, the 121st seed, with a 213.17. All right. In Group Mimic, the 1 through 32, it is Greffrey, who recently got this PB, 128.26, putting him in the 26th seed. In the 33 through 64 bucket, it is Gem, the 37th seed, with a 129.09. It is insane to me that a 129.09 is not good enough to be in the first 32 in the tournament. It is insane how many sub 130 runners we have now. Out of the 65 through 96 bucket, we've got In the Name of DT, the 73rd seed, with a 135.08. And out of the 97 through 128 bucket, we've got Mysticum, the 107th seed, with a 146.06. High atop the Tower of Hera, it is Group Moldorm. And we are going to start off with Link Orange, the 14th seed, and I think the top French runner? I'm pretty sure.
He's either number 1 or number 2, that's for sure.
Yeah, yes. With a 127.20. In the 33 through 64 bracket, we have Mr. Wonder, the 50th seed, with a 132.07. Out of 65 through 96, we've got Sarah Lepe Marsupial, the 92nd seed, with a 138.37. And out of 97 through 128, we've got Korik, the 111th seed, with a 149.38.
The final two.
The final two. In Group Pengator.
Last minute addition to the tournament.
Last minute addition. Another Donkey Kong Country legend. It is everybody's favorite breakfast. It is Waffle 42.
Yeah, waffles are greater than pancakes. If you say anything else, you're just wrong. I'm sorry.
With a 125.55, Waffle literally was just added to the tournament less than 48 hours ago with the last minute drop. Actually, it may have, about 48 hours ago. Out of the 33 through 64 bucket, the other half of that dynamic duo on the Frame Savers, it is Author Blues with a lowercase a, noted bad video games enthusiast, with the 55th seed, a 132.30. He is going to take a break from playing CDI Zelda to slum it on Link to the Past, but I think he'll manage.
He should be on PB Watch as well, I feel.
He definitely should be on PB Watch, both him and John Carls. Out of the 65 through 96 seed, we've got Jet 082, the 79th seed, with a 135.47. And out of 97 through 128, we've got I thought it was antimony, which is an element, but maybe I was reading it wrong, with the 126th seed with a 311.44. And finishing up the last group, it is Group Moblin. If you got them, get your pugs out. It is Andy, the 9th seed, 125.52, hovering his way into Group Moblin. And he's been promising a 124 for a while now. So let's see if that happens while he's on this tourney grind. We've got, out of the 33 through 64, Parisian player, the 35th seed, with a 128.58. Out of the 65 through 96 bucket, we've got Kontos, the 80th seed, with a 136.12. And hey, we said in the beginning, the only thing you had to do to get in the tourney was to complete a run and be one of the first 128th to sign up. So shout-outs to EAB for clutching it out with an 838.42 to make it in. EAB Tazrael, the 128th seed. And that rounds out Group Moblin, and that rounds out your 32 groups.
Yep, groups are all updated on Challenge now, so you can go actually see them if you would like.
So with that said, I see that Blunt Money has just gone live, so we're going to wrap it up here just so everybody knows. Like Greenham said, the groups are all up on Challenge. You can go. Matches will be starting on the Speed Gaming family of networks on the 25th with group matches. You can keep track of all the results. They will be posted on EAB is also on my PB watch. That's excuse me. That's a lot of talking. Matches start on the 25th on the Speed Gaming family of networks. You can keep track of the results on the challenge page, and of course, you'll be able to follow along all the action starting in a week.
Yeah, you can start scheduling your races as soon as you'd like. You know, as provided as long as they start after the 25th. We'll give you access to your groups channels in Discord, which will facilitate you organizing all your 3 races with everyone else in your group. So we'll get that done pretty soon.
All right. So with that said, we are going to. I'm very happy